is Harold Tobey, and I've lived in Barnstable since I was 5, and the early 1945, I lived right in this immediate area. I like the people, the community. It's very exciting to me. I grew up here. I grew up on this particular street, North Street, which runs out in front of this museum, and it wasn't as built up as it is now. We had, there was a very limited Black American community, but it was a community that when I came from school, I could go to anyone's house on the street. There was about 5 families that lived here, and I would be taken in and nourished and cared for, and if I did something wrong, my parents would hear about it, and I'd have to pay the consequences. But it was tough. I lived in a 4-room, well, actually a 3-room small cottage with kerosene, a pump, and our refrigerator was out the back window, as was our outhouse was up on the hill that stood probably 50 feet from this building we're in at this time. It took a village and to raise a child, and they did a good job with the group that I grew up with here, I think. We all know that our kids are leaving the area, and it's primarily due to housing, the high cost of rent, a lack of jobs. That has always been the case, but it's more of an impact now where we have 50,000 people living in the town of Barnstable, and it's, some people tell me, you know, well, it's kind of good that your kids get away, but I like to keep them close to the nest if I could, and I think a lot of other parents would too if there was a place that they could survive here. I mean, that's the worst part, I think. Again, it's the community strengths, the different villages that have civic associations, the church communities, the just the bond between some very nice people that live here on the Cape. It's all the same. The weaknesses is that we can't provide enough jobs, pay for our schools. That's our weakness, I think. Race is less a problem, but it's still a problem. It was, as I said earlier, that there was a very small Black American community here, and when I went on the department in 1965, it caused some problems. They really didn't want me on the department. It was a horrendous problem back then, but it's worked out. Some 30, 40 years later, I went on in 65, and it's now 208, and you can see the changes. There have been changes for the better. What can I say? We have a Black president that in 1965, when I went on the department, I would have never, ever dreamed of. And even now, it's so overpowering to me that I thought I'd never see it. And I'm 72, and I said, you know, this will never happen. and brought tears to my eyes. And to get back to the race issue, what I saw that made me really have hope was the fact that when I looked out in the crowd when Obama did his acceptance speech, there was every color, every race, every type of person that you could think of in that crowd. And to me, that's just, it's just so heartwarming that it's, you know, it took everyone to make this happen. And that to me signifies hope that things can get a lot better and are a lot better. My happiest memory in town, I have my wife, the birth of my children, living in this community. On this particular street, like I said before, it took a village or a street to raise a family. That was a very nice memory. I also enjoyed living over in Cumberquid, which was a big difference from my little shack here to right in a nice, beautiful area to bring my kids up. And that's my wife. I have to say, I wouldn't be where I am today, and that's a truism. I wasn't going to run for town council. She urged me to take that step, and Donna has been beside me when I've done some things that, well, I don't even want to go there, but she's stood by me and she's supported me, and it's an intricate part of this museum here also. She's worked right beside me here and always has been by my side. I think we spoke last time about you know, how I got to where I am, and it's all been the people in the town, like on the town council. I can list numerous people who have helped me, and I'll give you a few names. David Houghton, who taught me finance, Bob Smith, the attorney who helped me on the Warren Hanson and Walter Warney and Lynn Gobeil, who was my vice president in one incident. Not an incident, but one term I had. These people came to the forefront to help me to get to where I am. Jimmy Crocker currently is one who has given me a lot of knowledge in areas that I am lacking in. It's just been so many, drawn off of so many people, and can consider them my real true friends, and that's important. Without that, you know, you're out there alone. You're alone, but with friends, you're never alone. The loss of my child, my eldest daughter, was sad. My mother, the losses in my life of my immediate family were the saddest things that affected me, and again, it was for my family and friends to pull me through and be there by my side. It made a big difference. I have to stick to that theme because, you know, no man is an island, and I know that's a cliche or quote, but it's the truth. And honestly, I wouldn't be here and in the position I am in now without the help of so many fine people. When I was a child and grew up here, and like would go back to the village this was a favorite place. When I got a little older, I have two favorite places. Where I live now is sort of off the beaten track, but close to everything. It's a little small a ranch, and it's suitable for my needs and my wife's needs. I don't have a lot of family living there. My kids live all within the neighborhood, so it makes it very nice for me. Earlier in life, I had the opportunity to live over in Comaquid with my family and bringing up small kids. We had donkeys out there, and it was kind of neat. And it was a quiet place. It was huge compared to, like I said, my start. And that's another good memory. My mother was a domestic, she worked in Hyannisport, cleaning houses, and then she graduated, if you want to say, to where everybody ended up, and even I worked there for a little while before I went on the police department, was at the Colonial Kennel Company. And it was the only kind of jobs that were available to us at that time. Probably the way the town council reaches out to the community. Now I know the manager has the classes for people, government classes, and that has helped. But I think we need to, which would make a nice change, to reach out to all our constituents. And we try, but somewhere along the way, I think we missed the boat. And I'd like to see us come up with something that would make and I'm sure it's not ever going to be perfect, but we need to make that connection that somehow I think we've lost somewhere along the way. Oh, what should never be changed? That we put our people first. That should never be changed. That the people that live in this community should be primary in our sites, and schools should never. They're talking about going from village schools, and I have to say I am not in favor of that, and the reason being, for instance, the Hyannis East. That's closest to my heart. And even when I was a kid, I lived here, I could walk to school. I didn't need a bus. Most of the kids at Hyannis East walked to school. I mean, if you start busing them, with the economy the way it is, how these kids are going to, will they get to school? It's just that bothers me somewhat. And my name is Harold Tobey, and I've lived in Barnstable since I was 5.